Good evening, everybody. Sean Hewitt here from the Trusted Business Community Association. And this evening, I am joined by the wonderful Randy Liu, all the way from the Los Angeles area of the United States of America, who is one of our networking members of the association here. And we're proud to have her with us this evening to talk about the Randy Liu pastels and watercolors. Um, Welcome, Randy. Lovely to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So, Randy, the first question that all the listeners are going to want to know, and probably would like to get a feel for who you are, what you've been up to, and what's led you up to what you're doing now, is perhaps you could give us a little bit of a backstory into how you got to what you're doing now.
I have always enjoyed art. I was very fortunate as a child to grow up in a house with art, frequented museums, and took a number of art classes. But I would say it was because I was doing something else. Before 2014, my father said to me, "You really enjoy doing art. You haven't worked in watercolor. Why don't you take a class and start, and study it and see how you like it?" And I took the class. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed it quite a bit. And a number of people looked at the artwork and thought, I was already changing, going to be looking for something new. I had been in doing work in insurance, and um, I thought, I think it'd be worth exploring something in art. And my father, so I initially piggybacked on a company that made different kinds of items for artists, uh, got some as gifts for my father. He said, I think you could do better. Why don't you'll have a more limited number of items, but why don't you find places that can manufacture them for you and and start your own company. I think that, and you will have unique designs, and we think it's a good way to go. And so that was what what encouraged me to start the company.
Awesome. A lovely backstory. I must admit, art is. I've painted in oils before. I was taught in oils as a young boy, and
Hmm.
I've always loved to draw. I've got an artistic streak in myself, admittedly, but not
Very
not
good.
quite to the degree of what you're doing. But certainly love to doodle and draw occasionally. And it's so I think it's quite therapeutic at times. Just to sit down and draw something. It's really lovely, isn't it? Very therapeutic. Um,
Yes.
so watercolors and pastels. Now, how does that turn into a business? How does that become something that you can offer out to
Hmm.
those who would want the type of thing that that's being produced for you in those very unique
Hmm.
now artistic impressions that you produce? What what's the ideal client? Who wants to buy from you, and what sort of things do you produce?
Okay. Well, I do the designs a certain amount, each year in the oil pastels, which I love using, non-toxic materials only. And if you worked in watercolor and watercolor pencil, more watercolor pencil and water recently with our climate having been a little off these 2 or 3 years, what I do is I create a design, certain amount of time is spent on that. And these designs are featured on the company's stationery. It's very high-end museum quality stationery, which can be manufactured in both the US and UK for markets with same pricing in the US, Canada, UK, EU, and Australia. So, and there are greeting cards, art postcards, two different thicknesses, but they're both very, very high quality. Number of times people like to frame them. And two-sided art bookmarks, which are a great way to advertise. People, either stores can have them out to accompany either stationery or books or other items, and they're great for entrepreneurs to provide a personal touch. People receive them, they enjoy them when they're reading their books or magazines. They're always reminded of whoever gave them that item, and they might not, buy from you again today or tomorrow, use your services right now, but they will eventually. And then also the wall art is also for um, retailers and independent entrepreneurs, where you only have to buy a single item. And there are a number of items in the US, but we are now offering unframed prints in various sizes, extremely high quality, that are made in the UK. Um, they can all, yeah, and also for people who would like to have mounted prints with aluminum beneath, or framed, if they wanted that as well, we can provide that very high quality printing. And the places that we deal with, retailers of all sorts that um, offer stationery and wall art, which includes home decor. But for our little prints that come individually packaged, those are also fine for bookstores and little gift shops. Because they're in sizes that can be very easily framed, ready-made sizes. So
Brilliant.
so
So things like, yeah, obviously, like you said, mentioned bookmarks are a great way to, if you've got somebody who likes reading books, that's and companies got your artistry on their bookmark with the company's name underneath it, and the telephone number. That's always there in front of them.
yes,
It's a great idea.
yes.
I know somebody. I don't know if you do these, but I know somebody who was very successful with fridge magnets, doing this very similar sort of thing. So they put a fridge magnet.
Hmm.
The company would put their logo, and they had a lovely design next to their logo and their address and their telephone number for future work. And it was a great way because obviously everyone, I'm sure, well, I say everyone, lots of people use. I know we do. We use the fridge as the thing to put things on with the magnets attached to them, so that we can
Right.
something you need, it's there and right in front of you. So fridge magnets, another great way of obviously getting your prints and your
Yes.
beautiful watercolors out there to companies that want to invest in that continued customer service, and obviously making sure that they get the repeat
Hmm.
business after they've helped a client or a customer once. Uh,
Yes.
that's a reminder of who they are, and it's a nice gift to give to somebody, isn't it? To a client, that sort of thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and
no.
art and wellness, there's that strong relationship. People feel good when they see art. I have art on the walls where I'm as well. It just makes you, it provides wholeness and just makes people feel better.
I must admit, I mean, you talked about greeting cards and other gifts, and I've got to say that, as you know, one of our other members who's in that sort of in the greeting card industry side of things,
Yes.
you know, it's so lovely to receive something through the door or in a parcel from someone else,
Hmm.
isn't it? Because it really does
Yes.
show that you've gone to that extra level of thought about giving them a gift
Hmm.
rather than sending them a text message or a WhatsApp message and saying
Yes.
thank you. That's another level of thanking them for their, either for being, it could be an anniversary, it could be whatever it could be that you're sending the gift out for. But if it's a business transaction or a transactional reason for sending that out, saying thank you to a client for using your services, that's a beautiful way to give them something from Randy Lou's pastels and watercolors. It's a lovely way to say thank you to that person who's used that organization's services, isn't it?
Yes, and they're more likely to remember you. And our work is we provide customized stationery so people can pick their designs,
Yeah.
decide what they want, on the back. If they want, it could be if they want something different on the front as well. But it's all customizable so that to help people with their businesses.
Yeah, no, it's a great way of reaching out in a very personal and professional fashion that just takes it beyond the text message, the email thank you, or the WhatsApp message
Hmm.
saying thank you. It's another level of
Yes.
connectivity, and I believe obviously that you're right. I think it means that that individual would stand out to somebody who's received that gift. That individual would stand out to them. So, who are they more likely to want to use the services of again? Somebody who's gone to that
Mm.
extra thought to provide them a thank you in the first place, in the way of one of your lovely pastels or watercolors, in whatever format they come in, whether it be a bookmark,
Hmm.
whether it be a pad or yeah, anything that
Hmm.
that can be produced with your beautiful designs and prints on them.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. Randy, now obviously people are listening into this, aren't they? So we want to obviously let them know how to find out more information on the things that you can produce for these organisations and individuals, of course, because it could be an
Hmm.
individual that needs your services.
Yes,
They maybe want to reach out to a relative and give them something lovely from you.
yes.
Um, how do they find you? Where do you hang out on the socials? Where can they get hold of you?
Well, the website is randyluart.com, and also on LinkedIn under Randy Lou, and Facebook under Randy Lou, also in the Trusted Business Community directory.
And of course, we've got the sign up here where you can probably scan this that's up above
Yes,
us,
the QR
and you
code.
could probably
Yes.
find out all of that information anyway to make it easier and easier for people to listen in and to contact
Yes.
you. So if anybody is listening into this YouTube interview, this big interview is with Randy Lou today, and you can scan the QR code and find her a lot easier. But remember, she is also in the Trust Business Community Directory. If you're hunting through that, look up Randy Lou in there, and you'll be able to get in contact with her with all the ways in which she's already told you on this interview today. Well, Randy, it's been lovely to have a nice little chat with you and find out a little bit more about what's going on in the world of watercolors and pastels, and how that can really influence small business owners to their clients and also for individuals to their friends and relatives, and how
Mhm.
those sort of gifts can be really welcomely received by those that are receiving them from the sender. So a wonderful time to obviously think about gifts and things like that. We've obviously got Valentine's Day coming up.
Yes.
We've also got Easter coming up, and there's all of these like social and holidays that
Mhm.
are about, and these sort of things can make a wonderful gift going forward to somebody you care for. Randy, it's lovely to have you with me this evening. Thank you for joining me all the way from America today. Thank you so much. It's always a privilege and a pleasure to see you at our meetings. And if anybody would like to reach out and have a one-to-one, if they're on LinkedIn, don't forget I could be found on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to hook you up with Randy and introduce you to her should you need to be introduced that way. But you'll also find her at the networking events that we hold as well, because that's where she hangs out too. Randy, it's lovely to have you with you. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to obviously speaking to you again in the very near future.
Well, thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing you again as well.
Take care, Randy.
You too.